This week we take a look at our sports highlights for the week,
Powerlifting,
our drama teacher, Mr. Hillier,
newspaper advisor, Mr. Urbach, and our seniors' next steps. All that and more
on the Warrior Weekly. Good morning, Warriors, and welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly. Presented by Warrior Student Media, I'm Grace Summers.
And I'm Joe Smith. This week we take a look at a number of exciting events and stories at MCHS.
But first, McHenry's Warrior Student Media highlights our recent sports news at MCHS.
This past week, Warriors baseball won 5 out of 5 games with an impressive run differential of 43-12. Shout out to senior Zach Reddy with a complete game, only allowing 1 run and striking out 5 Bulldogs in their 8-1 win over Grant.
Boys lacrosse had one winning game this week, including an amazing nail-biting victory over Mundelein.
In softball, the McHenry Warriors defeated Lane Tech and Crystal Lake South, with junior Lila Effling hitting 2 home runs in the 20-3 victory over Crystal Lake South.
Girls lacrosse lost 14-7, however, junior Maddie Sima had 6 goals and 1 assist against Hampshire.
And that's all for the sports highlights this week. Make sure to tune in as baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse, and girls soccer all have some action this week. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Jordan Campton, Nathan Halsema, and Zoe Malo.
Next, let's take a look at how McHenry's Powerlifting Club is performing so far.
This isn't just about lifting weights. This is war with gravity. Every rep, every set is a battle between you and your limits.
One of the coaches named Beer Bauer mentioned it towards me, and he said there was powerlifting throughout the school year near the beginning, and so that's where I kind of started after football during my freshman year. I was very nervous, but I did pretty well for my first time.
No shortcuts, no excuses, just brute strength, forged under iron and sweat. This is powerlifting, and it is where the strong are made.
Honestly, just staying disciplined and just looking for help from friends and also family. That's what keeps me motivated.
Powerlifting isn't a sport, it's a mindset. You don't train to compete, you train to dominate, to crush PRs, to defy doubt, and to silence every voice that says you can't.
I'd say technique and power is key instead of just going to do the lift like eagerly. So just take your time and don't rush anything, and make sure to have rest days in between every lift you do.
Squat heavy, press harder, and pull like your life depends on it. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Jenny Taylor and Kevin Hibbs.
Our drama teacher, Mr. Hillier, is an important member of MCHS Warrior Student Media. Here's the story.
From teaching all French classes to directing theater, Mr. Hillier does it all. Working with tons of students, he directs the musicals and plays all on his own, earning his teacher highlight. Getting his master's in French, he started teaching middle school and moved to high school to further educate students in French.
Well, I was in a different school. I was teaching middle school, which I loved. I think it's better to teach middle school than be in middle school. So very awkward time for students. But I liked that, kind of guiding them through what is often a very confusing time for kids. But I taught French 1 all day. And so when you have a master's degree in French, it's a little boring. So I knew that McHenry was hiring. One of my friends that works here told me about it. And so I decided to apply. And when I started here, I was just the French teacher, and then I assistant directed plays. And so it just blossomed and grown over the years, and we've just expanded and kept going. So that's why I started, and that's why I stayed.
Senior Jamison Shane knows everything has a place in theater and that Hillier runs a tight ship.
It's cutthroat, but not because he wants the best for all of his students, and he keeps a tight ship running of what needs to get done. But also at the same time, he's a bit more lenient with it, and he has fun with students to make sure that all of his students are having fun and are always engaged and just aren't there sitting in class learning about the theater until it's just not fun anymore. He always still makes sure to incorporate aspects of fun but also serious.
While having high expectations for his class, students like sophomore Seven Snelton enjoy having the fun environment. I just really appreciate him. He creates a really nice and fun environment, and his classes are always really fun to look forward to and to go to. It's usually very stress-free, and it's a nice break at the end of the day. And he has high expectations, but they're good and they're reasonable, and he always pushes me to try harder and to do my best, and I really appreciate that.
Mr. Hillier tries to foster an engaging environment with reasonable expectations for his students, urging more to join his classes in the years to come to make their high school experience that much better. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are William Deneke, Haley Walkerson, Addie Dempsey, and Lex Bach.
Up next, we turn the page and look at our newspaper program here at MCHS, advised by Mr. Urbach.
At both campuses, a familiar face wanders the halls. Dane Urbach is a journalist, newspaper, and honors English teacher. He is always there to help a student in need, especially the freshmen, his student media, and his co-workers, including Curtis Minke.
I know at the freshman campus, he engages freshmen quickly. And I know that's one of the reasons why the newspaper program has grown so much and is performing so well, especially in the last couple of years. It's because he'll hook some kids freshman year, and then they'll end up basically staying with him throughout all of high school.
Minke respects his teaching style and likes the way he hooks students into joining extracurricular activities.
One of the reasons why I love it when our kids engage in electives, because it gives them a sense of purpose and belonging. It's kind of like, when you see a music student who's just like band is their thing, and that gives them a sense of purpose. So he does that for students in our journalism program.
Urbach leaves an impact on every student, even ones that had him in the past. Olivia Smith and Grace Crockett both enjoyed his teaching style during their freshman year.
Yeah, so I've had him since freshman year. He's definitely a really good teacher who he always comes in and just makes sure that I'm having a good time doing my work, and I feel like he works really hard to have a personal connection with all of the students. So he's definitely made sure that I'm having success academically. I had him at freshman campus too. I think he really understands the needs for both the older kids and the younger kids, and he really does a good job of trying to kind of help ease that transition by just being a good support for them. So
I've had Urbach since freshman year. He's always been a good teacher for me. He's always allowed me to be myself, and he's definitely himself too in his class and everything. So he's just really allowed me to be myself in a place where it can be kind of hard for you to know if you belong. So when I was a freshman, he kind of introduced ourselves, and he definitely made the transition from middle school to high school very easy for me. He made it feel more real, if that makes sense, with his grading and everything. So with here though, we definitely are he treats his students like friends, but with boundaries, if that makes sense. So it's all just really fun being in his class.
With his upbeat personality, he's always there for his students. If you see Urbach in the hallway, feel free to say hello and thank him for his impact on the school. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, I'm Cora Benz, Ika Villa, Ryzen Delcheka, and Cameron Mitchell.
Lastly, as the year comes to a close, seniors are preparing for life after high school. Warrior Student Media takes a look at how our seniors are preparing for their lives once they leave MCHS's walls.
With the end of the school year coming up, Warrior Student Media takes a look at seniors' final steps. Mr. Minke breaks down tips and tricks that seniors must take before and after graduation.
Specific actions for seniors, and as always, it depends on what pathway seniors are looking at. For seniors that are going into the military, I would encourage them, touch base with the recruiters one more time, just make sure they've completed all the necessary steps. For seniors who are taking their next step in MCC, whether it be for transfer or for technical programs, make sure that they've created their account, done the orientations, and then ultimately they'll pick their classes very soon. For students starting away from home at four-year colleges, again, every four-year college has slightly different ways of doing things, but just make sure you've got your housing and your meal plan set up. You're following their orientation and enrollment steps. And ultimately selecting your classes with your advisor. And then for us, seniors, just make sure you're doing all the things that we've asked you to do. Complete the survey, complete the paper transcript request form, pass your classes.
Senior Kate Mines tells us about some of her goals for finishing senior year strong.
My goals for finishing out the year are trying to stay positive and keeping up my grades,
like anything that keeps me going and like thinking about what is next.
Mines reflects on how the College and Career Center has helped her throughout her high school career and how it's beneficial for other students.
The College and Career Center has helped me through various ways. They've had plenty of like colleges and help like sessions throughout the year, and that kind of gives me a lot of information. So like Mr. Minky, like I didn't know about the Alex Math test, and I was able to talk to him and ask him about it, and he was able to help me.
Underclassmen, be sure to use the benefits and resources from the College and Career Center regarding your future plans. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were McKenna Harvey, Allie Casey, Riley Radke, and Elvie Julio.
That's all for today's show. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on all social media platforms, including X, Insta, and TikTok.
For Grace Summers and all Warrior Student Media, I'm Joe Smith. Have a wonderful week, Warriors.